I'm sure you've heard the news. The world watched in horror. A ceasefire so fragile shattered in Rafah. Hopes for peace, for even a moment of calm, evaporated. The Israel-Hamas conflict, a wound that never truly heals, ripped open once more. This time it was a hospital, a place of healing, transformed into a scene of unimaginable suffering. Accusations fly like deadly shrapnel. Israel, Hamas, each blames the other. The world demands answers, accountability. But in the fog of war, truth is often the first casualty. One thing is clear: innocent lives have been lost, adding to the ever-growing toll of this intractable conflict. This isn't just another news cycle, another diplomatic crisis. It's a human tragedy of immense proportions. Families torn apart, lives cut short, futures stolen. Their stories, their pain, must be heard above the political rhetoric and the clamor of war. We owe it to them, to the victims of this senseless violence, to understand. The conflict between Israel and Hamas is not a new phenomenon. It's the latest chapter in a century-old struggle, a Gordian knot of history, religion, and national identity. To understand the present, we must journey back in time. The seeds of conflict were sown in the early 20th century. Zionism, the movement for a Jewish homeland in Palestine, gained momentum, fueled by rising anti-Semitism in Europe. At the same time, Palestinian Arabs, the majority population in Palestine, resisted the influx of Jewish immigrants. Tensions escalated, culminating in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War and the creation of the State of Israel. This event, known as the Nakba, catastrophe by Palestinians, resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. It created a refugee crisis that continues to fuel resentment and instability to this day. Adding another layer of complexity to the conflict is Hamas. Formed during the First Intifada, Palestinian uprising, in the late 1980s, Hamas is a Palestinian Islamist group that governs the Gaza Strip. It is considered a terrorist organization by Israel, the United States, and several other countries. Hamas's charter calls for the destruction of Israel and the establishment of an Islamic State in all of historic Palestine. The group has carried out numerous suicide bombings and rocket attacks against Israeli civilians, actions that have been widely condemned. However, Hamas is more than just a militant group. It also operates a vast network of social services in Gaza, providing healthcare, education, and welfare to the impoverished population. This duality makes Hamas a formidable and complex actor in the conflict. Israel, on the other hand, possesses one of the most advanced militaries in the world. The Iron Dome, a sophisticated missile defense system, has intercepted countless rockets fired from Gaza, saving countless Israeli lives. Yet this technological prowess presents a moral and strategic dilemma. While the Iron Dome protects Israeli civilians from Hamas rockets, it also creates a sense of impunity for Israel. Critics argue that it allows Israel to continue its occupation of Palestinian territories with fewer consequences. This, in turn, fuels resentment among Palestinians, who view the Iron Dome as a symbol of Israeli oppression rather than defense. The dilemma of defense versus occupation lies at the heart of the conflict. The challenge for both sides and for the international community is to break free from this cycle of violence and create a framework for peace. But amidst the geopolitical chess game, it's easy to forget the human pawns. The people of Gaza, subjected to a crippling blockade for over a decade, live in a state of perpetual humanitarian crisis. Unemployment is rampant, poverty is endemic, and access to basic necessities like clean water and electricity is severely limited. Imagine living in a place where the constant threat of violence hangs over your head like a Damocles sword, where the whirring of drones replaces the laughter of children playing in the streets. This is the reality for millions of Palestinians in Gaza. Their lives are a testament to the devastating human cost of this conflict. Their stories, often untold and unheard, deserve our attention. In the age of social media, the conflict is amplified, refracted through a prism of competing narratives and misinformation. Each side accuses the other of war crimes, of using human shields, of deliberately targeting civilians. Distinguishing truth from propaganda becomes a Herculean task. Videos surface showing the horrors of war, but their authenticity is often questioned, their context manipulated to fit a particular narrative. Social media platforms become echo chambers of confirmation bias, reinforcing pre-existing beliefs and deepening divisions. It requires a discerning eye, a critical mind, and a healthy dose of skepticism to navigate this treacherous information landscape. Cross-checking facts, seeking multiple perspectives, and questioning our own biases are essential tools in the fight against misinformation. The truth, elusive as it may be, is out there. The international community, grappling with the complexities of the conflict, often appears divided and ineffective. The United Nations issues condemnations and calls for restraint, but its resolutions are often ignored. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, provides billions of dollars in military aid annually, while also calling for a negotiated two-state solution. European countries, often more critical of Israeli policies, have provided humanitarian assistance to Palestinians but have been reluctant to challenge Israel directly. This lack of a unified and effective international response has created a sense of impunity for both sides. Until the international community can present a united front, the cycle of violence is likely to continue. Is peace even possible? It's a question that haunts this conflict, a question with no easy answers. The two-state solution, once the cornerstone of international diplomacy, seems increasingly elusive. Years of settlement expansion, violence, and mistrust have eroded the possibility of a contiguous and viable Palestinian state alongside Israel. The status of Jerusalem, holy to both Jews and Muslims, remains a major stumbling block, as does the issue of Palestinian refugees and their right of return. Yet, despite the seemingly insurmountable obstacles, the pursuit of peace cannot be abandoned. Too much blood has been spilled, too many lives have been lost, to give up on the possibility of a different future. Dialogue, however difficult, must be restarted. Trust, once broken, must be rebuilt. The United States, as the world's superpower and a key player in the Middle East, bears a special responsibility for helping to resolve this conflict. Yet its role has often been characterized by contradictions and inconsistencies. On one hand, the U.S. provides unwavering diplomatic and military support to Israel, viewing it as a vital strategic ally in a volatile region. On the other hand, the U.S. also recognizes the legitimate aspirations of the Palestinian people for a state of their own. This delicate balancing act has often left the U.S. accused of bias and inaction. Finding the right balance, one that advances the cause of peace while safeguarding U.S. interests, remains a major challenge for American policymakers. What does the future hold for Rafah, for Gaza, for the region as a whole? It's a question that weighs heavily on the minds of those who live amidst the ruins, who have known nothing but conflict and hardship. Will the cycle of violence continue, claiming more innocent lives and perpetuating the cycle of hatred and revenge? Or can a new chapter be written, one marked by reconciliation, coexistence, and a shared future? The answer, as always, lies in the hands of those who hold the reins of power. Will they choose the path of war, or will they summon the courage and wisdom to pursue a different path, one that leads to a just and lasting peace? The world watches, waits, and hopes for a glimmer of light amidst the darkness. As we grapple with the complexities of the Israel-Hamas conflict, it's essential to remember that this is not just an abstract geopolitical dispute. It's a human tragedy with real lives at stake. Beyond the headlines and the political posturing, there are human beings on both sides who yearn for peace, security, and a better future for their children. It's easy to get caught up in the rhetoric, to demonize the other side, to lose sight of our shared humanity. But if we are to ever break the cycle of violence, we must resist that temptation. We must strive to understand the narratives, the fears, and the aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians. Empathy, not enmity, is the key to unlocking a different future. The future of Rafah, of Israel, of Palestine depends on it.